Welcome to the show, guys. So, this is our 199th show already. Is it possible? I mean, it seems like it's impossible. But, anyways, so yeah, next week will be our 200th show on YouTube, live show. Yeesh. And so, we've actually done quite a bit more shows than that. Of course, we had our live stream broadcasts, which, of course, those are unfortunately gone forever. I think Livestream deleted most of our very early shows. The very first one we had Brian Prosser on, who I haven't heard from for a little while, but um, yeah, I mean, I really can't believe how many shows we've done. But anyway, I guess I'm getting old. Um, so let's see. So it's been a while since we worked on Bad Apples, and if you guys recall, we worked on this character, which is the one of the actual main character, one of them, and so this is the mother character. And actually, while we were chatting here before, I did work a little bit on her, so I kind of get a little bit ahead of myself. Um, I was trying to figure out, like, is there something? I recall there was something about this that I wanted to alter, but I think it was the eyebrows. That was the last thing, and so I made the eyebrows a little thicker. I think that they will register better if they are a little fatter like this. Let me see. So before they're that size, you can see that one there, and so they're a little bit larger. And I mean, this character looks pretty good. I mean, as far as I can tell, there's not much I think we need to change really. Um, so we got the blinks in there. We got the little eyelids. We've got. Yeah, I mean, technically, I think we're done with this one. But I just wanted to kind of like go over, clear the guides here, and then save it. Alright, I just wanted to kind of go over this one last time. Because once I bring this into Moho for animating, it's going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back in Photoshop and change things or what. But anyway, I guess the only real thing we need to do, I'm going to turn off all this stuff. I'm going to turn it on one by one. And do some... This is like just a layer that has nothing on it that I can see, so I'm going to delete that one. Alright. So, let's see. This here is... These are some eyelids. Now, this brow here I don't need. So I'm going to delete that one. So I'm going to try to clean some of this stuff up. And, so yeah, this one here, the left brow, I don't need that one. We got R. Let's see, layer properties. Right, lid closed. Left lid closed. And we've got this is going to be our right lower lid. And unfortunately, you can see that my program is really buggy, like the screen disappears and stuff, but it'll work. Left lower lid, right lower lid. Okay, so these I don't need. So if you recall, these were the eyelids that we created, and I thought it might be kind of nice to have these nice, fancy lashes, like it's a woman and everything. And she ended up looking rather, what's the word? Like snobbish. As you can see. See you later, Mr. Gold. So these lids are out. I'm going to get rid of these lids. Kind of clean out all the junk that we don't need in here. And then just make doubly sure I can just click the delete button, I suppose, but yep, so we got, I think the rest of the stuff is self-explanatory. This is, you know, left arm, different angles. We got our body here. So maybe what I could do is I can move this up to here, keep that kind of organized. And yeah, let's kind of organize these a bit. So now these are a cycle. And then we're going to call this one done. So maybe I'll just turn on some of the parts. Turn on all the neutral stuff. And turn on some arms. I think maybe I made these arms, or put them in those places for a reason. There we go. So I'm gonna save it. Alright, so this character is ready for animating in Moho. So I think we're just gonna, oh, I gotta turn on the eyebrows. So you can see that labeling these things, right brow and left brow, kind of helps a lot, just to identify things. But there is one thing I'm going to try to do here. I'm going to maybe turn the opacity down just a bit. %. That's a little bit better. Oops. $96? Oh, that one was actually down. I guess I recognized that before. Alright, there we go. Because they seem really dark. Alright, we are done. So here's our next character. And so this character here, you might recognize as a character. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just double check something here. So let's do this. I want to make sure I didn't actually finish this character yet. I think it's this one. Okay. Yeah, so I've already separated out a lot of these things already, so I don't need to redo that. What I mainly need to do is I need to turn this character into something we can use in Moho. Alright. So most of the work is already done for him, but as you can see, some of the stuff is a bit messy, like this guy, Grumble, I guess we're calling him. His armpit area seems kind of messed up here. I don't know what happened. So I'm probably going to fix that. Let's see. Otherwise, yeah, so when I was moving his arms, I should have probably patched that up before I photographed it. I didn't notice that his armpit got a crack in it like that. Oh well. Thanks, Carlos. Yep, these are 2.5D clay characters. Oh, you're from Venezuela. Wow, nice. I've heard that place has a lot of turmoil lately. Not sure I'd want to live there right now, from what I've heard in the news, anyway. Wow, but that's cool that you're able to join us. That's awesome. Okay, so my goal here now, I need to make a document that will be large enough to fit this character's head and body. So let's just say maybe I'm gonna say something about this big. Alright, let's see if this will work. So I'm going to grab his body, his lower body. And for the background, actually, I'm going to paint this background medium gray. Just so we can kind of see what's going on more easily. And this I'm going to move down. So, is this document going to be large enough? I hope so. But if not, that's okay. I can always drag and move stuff around to another one. So, copy and paste. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be too small. Image size, constrained proportions. No. Let's just go like that. Now I'm gonna delete what I added in there and redo it. Yeah, it's still not gonna be large enough because when his arms move out. Okay, so let's see. Let's make it wider and taller. Let's make it like 2200 by, let's say, 1500. Okay. I just pasted it. I believe it makes a new document. Yeah, makes a new layer like that. Perfect. Now I think we're good. So anyways, this is something that you guys probably, are, hopefully you guys aren't too bored again. Like I know in the past I've mentioned that this is probably kind of boring to watch. But all this is really necessary for, for stop motion. In fact, we've got an article that we posted just today from Rafi, who had his He-Man animation that he did, the intro that we talked about just about maybe 4 weeks ago. And he also used Photoshop, and he explained how he used some like special plugins in After Effects for like a lot of like the He-Man sword animations, like the 2D elements, which look awesome. And so if you're into stop motion, you pretty much need to learn. Oh man, it's not going to be big enough still. You need to learn Photoshop. So image, duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this. Oh, I see. Looks like I have a lot of space down below. Make this smaller. And then move stuff around. Well, that explains a lot. Okay, put this here. So this is our Art Cloakey tribute character. Of course, you guys might recognize the shape of the green hair as something maybe you've seen before. And paste it in there. So this is like the front view. It's going to be a side view. And now we can start pasting some heads in there. Here. Okay, so you're asking what He-Man short. Well, check it out on our, if you go to our main page, you will see a link to the article, and it's got the short film actually embedded into the article at the top, so you can check it out. It's really good. This character's kind of funny. Alright, free transform. Moving down. And let's add some drop shadow to this hair. Make the angle proper. Such. And So this is a little bit strange looking. There we go, okay. I'm not really sure if I can get this to look really super good or anything, but I think the drop shadow will help. I think that there's some kind of green spill on the bottom of his hair, which I'm going to have to clean that up. And I think also the size is a little bit off. There we go. That's probably... I probably should lower all this stuff just a bit. Right here. Yeah, the intro for He-Man, it's really good. All right, now I'm gonna erase some of the stuff off the bottom of his hair, because this stuff is really it's not really cleaned up very well from before. I think I just used the magic wand tool, and I'm gonna go with a more fuzzy brush, and there we go, 38. Kind of get in here, get rid of that bright green line there. We'll have that drop shadow, so this should look a little bit like it's attached to his head, even though it's not. And make this a smaller brush because I want to get this little crack right here. Get that cleaned up, and then continue. Alright. This here is looking a little bit jagged, so I'm going to also go in here with my tool. So when you erase stuff, you know, you can get like a hard edge or you can get a softer edge on what you're erasing depending on which brush you're using. So if you guys notice, like, these are sort of like a fuzzy airbrush, and then these lines are more solid with a more crisp edge to them, right? So that reflects, you know, what your eraser is gonna look like when it meets your parts that you're removing. So not too much to clean up here, but you know, it's these little details are important. Okay. So now it looks like it's really a part of his head. And I might just kind of go over this just a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing Shift, and the eraser will connect, you know, the 2 points, the first position of your brush and the second position, and it will erase. And so if, you know, like if you're using just a mouse, it makes it more steady that way. You can get more accuracy. There we go. Much better. Like Daniel Ortega. Okay. So let's see. Also, I can see on the bottom of his shirt as well, there's a bright green line. So I'm going to go through here and just kind of erase that a bit. I also want to add a drop shadow to this as well. And I'm going to copy the layer style here and paste that into this layer style. And that should give us something kind of nice. So unfortunately, it does give you a drop shadow like on the entire part across the entire body, which I don't really like. So the question is, do I want to keep that or not? I'm thinking not. So let's get rid of that. And instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another layer, and I'm going to paint in a drop shadow instead. And so I'm going to go with, I don't know which brush, maybe about 65. This would be good. And I'm going to go with not quite black, maybe somewhere around here. And I'm going to paint it in. Oops. And I don't know why I can't see it. Oh, because it's the eraser tool. That's probably why. Alright. There we go. This will be much better. Alright. And that's not looking good. It's gotta be black, I guess. I'll go with black, and then I can change the opacity. Let's go here. Alright. Go like this, and then change our opacity to where it looks right. So I'm gonna kind of go like maybe to there. That was pretty good. That looks like a natural shadow. And I'm gonna try to merge these. I'm gonna try to merge these layers together. And I go merge down. What does that do? All right, it worked. Excellent. So now that shadow is permanently attached to his lower body, or his upper body, so that it casts a shadow on the lower body. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, so these eyes. That's there is something I need to do about the eyebrows. Now that you mention it, so I've only got one pair of eyebrows, and I forgot to remove them from this particular head and film them, or take a photograph of these separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out, and I'm going to use the lasso tool. And I'm not going to go all the way to the brow itself, to the edge. I'm going to go around it kind of like this, and I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to kind of move it into place about right here. And same with this one. Okay, I'm going to kind of move it around. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to now go in here with the eraser tool again, and I'm going to erase right up to that green edge. Hopefully without screwing it up. Let's see here. Alright, zoom in a little bit more. This might be too soft of an edge though. I don't really like that too much. So let me go with size 21. That's a bit better. It'll make that edge a little bit more crisp. And again, what I'll have to do is add a little bit of a drop shadow to this too, just to give it a little bit of separation. That'll work. And then this one. I mean, because you can see like the natural shadow that it cast before is pretty dark. So we don't really need it to be that dark, but we do need to have it visible, as a part of the lighting that we're sort of faking. Go like this. Alright. And great. So there it is. Looks pretty good, I think. In fact, maybe we don't need to add a shadow to these eyebrows. Because to me that looks alright, I kind of like that. I think because the clay itself has a curvature here, it already kind of has a shadow. But let's add a shadow just to see what it looks like. Yep. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think we need it. I'm gonna cancel. Yeah, we don't need it. All right. There's one other thing we need to do. So I do want to use this particular face here, but I've got a problem because if I were to use this face as it is, I'd have the eyebrows on there. So I'm going to copy over this and paste it here and get rid of those eyebrows. So let's do this. Let's make sure it's lined up pretty good, which it is. And I want to erase that hard edge, and that way you won't be able to tell what we've done, hopefully. Oops. So I don't want to reveal the brows we had there. I know what I need to do. I gotta turn down the opacity first. This way I can't go over those. All these little tricks. All right. So let's see. Okay, and then I'm gonna make the size smaller. Let's get the edge like that. There we go. Okay, I don't think you can tell what I've done now. So I'm gonna copy all this, paste it. Oh. You know what? I gotta get rid of that background first. We don't need the background in there. There we go. Okay. It actually lines up pretty good. Alright. So let's see. So we got these two. We got these two faces, and then we need the third. Yeah. It doesn't like me. Alright, let's go here. Paste it in. That, I believe, this is the only side face that I have for him. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this as well. So we have a left facing and right facing face. Maybe I'll do that before I forget. Let's duplicate this layer. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to flip this horizontally and then drag it into here. Okay. And the same is going to be true for that hair as well. So let me do something here. Let's get rid of that hair. Let's make this one visible. Oops. So this probably looks a bit strange because it kind of is, and I'm not sure if this is going to look proper. I think that this, let me get rid of these brows. So I'm probably going to have to erase part of this hair, which is not really a big deal. New options. Let's see. Very creepy eyes. Are they? Yeah, maybe they are. He is kind of creepy. Okay. So, let's see. You can use the shadow layer in other front views if you have more front views. Well, there's only one front body there. That's it. One frontal body, I believe. Let me see. I don't think that I have it. Do I have a side view on the body? The front. Right. Front. I don't think I did. Alright, so let me erase this. There we are. Bring the opacity back, like such, and then I'm just going to clean this up a bit. Go back to about 21. Yep, so this is the life of stop motion animators these days. Cleaning stuff up. And yeah. It's tedious. Can expand this a little bit and move it just a tad, so like that. And then crispen this part up. Let's see how that looks. That was pretty good. Go back to larger size, and then I just want to get rid of this kind of this edge here is a bit bright because of the green spill. So I'm just going to kind of soften this a little bit. Oops, that's probably too much. Kind of get it to where it's not so apparent. Alright, how's that? Not even sure I'm going to use these side head poses, but I think I just did it just in case I wanted the option. And so I'm going to, let me see here, copy and paste this as well. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, I can do the drop shadow after this. Let's see, copy. Image, rotate canvas for horizontal, and then plop that right into there. And free transform. So this is probably about where it's going to need to be. Let me let's do this. Let's move it into place. Oops. Yeah. I don't know if I like it that much, but hey, it's there if I want it. So let's see. Now I'm going to add a drop shadow. -90-degree angle, distance a little bit more, and the opacity down. Could spread it. No. Size. That's probably okay. And copy layer style. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright, and then so Owiski says Moho does a real good job flipping images in the timeline, but you can custom the shadows when you do it here in Photoshop. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to learn how to do that stuff. I think what I might end up doing is, you know, on my own, I'll probably just kind of teach myself Moho, and then once I learn enough, you know, I'll show you guys how to do it, and I'm sure you guys will teach me as well, because I don't know enough to, you know, I know enough to probably do some simple animation, but this is kind of overwhelming, to be honest. There's so much. So many layers and whatnot, you know. It just seems like, oh no, can I do it? Or is it going to be a big mess? This is actually an appropriate facial expression for kind of how I'm feeling about it. Alright, and then this one. Move this into position. Although it's kind of fun just to flip back and forth between facial expressions. So not much really to this character here. I mean, oh, I think I know what you were saying now, Weebeast, about the layers. Because when I see what you're saying. So when I add the other arms and stuff like that. But what I could do is I could just slice off the top part and blend it in. So actually, it's not a problem. It's not going to be a problem. Okay, so let me paste that in there. Let's like this. Let's give him his eyebrows. Looks a lot better with eyebrows, even though these aren't even facing in the proper direction, but this one I have to use the lasso, because I got a leg here. And paste. Okay. Alright. So that's all the faces. Now, I think, did I add a drop shadow to the first head? I did not. So what I'm going to do is give him a drop shadow. And size like this, and then there we go. And copy layer style. Oh, that's not gonna work. I gotta do it this way, paste layer style, which is not a problem. Trying to do Control V, thinking you could paste, but I pasted the previous head back into the document, so it doesn't like that idea, I guess. All right, so with the arms moved out, I think what I'm going to do here is let's see. So I don't have to actually copy the whole thing. I can just copy the top part. So first I'm going to duplicate this layer. So this is going to be a duplicate body, and I'm going to paste it right above that layer and then align it like such. I need to align it a little bit better though. It's a little bit off. Let's see. Problem is that it has a little like a snap function or something going on here, and it doesn't want to just move 1 pixel at a time. It sort of goes like every 10 pixels or so. And I'm not sure how to change that. This here should be okay. And then in the lower area, I can just erase what I had there. Oops. Pretty sure I got that. Let's just make sure. Yes, I did. And then in the upper layer, I can oops, erase most of this, blend these together, and then merge these two. So that way I'm going to get the drop shadow that I added before. So I'll merge down, and there. So we have doesn't align perfectly, but let's see. So yeah, it's off by a little bit. That's not really nice, is it? So use my arrows? Ah, okay. I did not know you can do that. Alright, well what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna redo that then. Let's see if we can do it more precisely with the arrows. Alright, that's really good to know. Let's see how this works out. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to make it so I can see through a little bit. And I'm going to use the arrows, and I'll try to align these as best as I can. So it seems as though there's something that's not right. Like I think maybe my camera or something, that I changed the focus or what. Maybe I changed the focus on it, and so it's a little bit off. Maybe I need to do it like this. Like something shifted with the camera to where I can't get the, let's see. Like if I use the button as a pivot point, you know, it's, you can see like the top part doesn't line up with the shoulders and everything. Like it's almost a different scale or something. Let's see. It's really strange, actually. I don't understand how that happens. Because technically it shouldn't work exactly. Not sure. Well, so what should I do here exactly? No. I'm thinking almost like, you know, looking at it now, because I've got these two arm positions. I'm thinking Moho could probably handle a different arm position of that distance without any problem. So I'm not even sure I need this, looking at it. But I think I've got a more extreme pose, which I should probably plop in there instead. That was the original. This one here I think would be the one to go for. And I don't need this one. This one's out. So I think what I'm going to do is just plop in this one and probably redo the drop shadow. So let's get rid of the background. It's probably, there we go. So change of plans, rethinking things a little bit. I think there's a delay for you guys. I think there's a delay in the broadcast. So I can see you referring to things that are in the past. Alright. So I think this would probably work. This is probably okay, but now I notice that there's like a bit of a shift in the way the light is appearing on his jacket, so yeah, maybe I should just like erase the whole lower body. I don't know. Let's do something here. So brightness contrast. Let's make it slightly darker. I mean, how the heck did that happen? I don't understand. Like the saturation is different. The contrast is definitely different because I changed it, but like the original saturation seemed to be slightly off. I see that, Randy. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so anyway, I think I'll just keep it, and you know what, I'm not really gonna worry too much about the slight difference in contrast and stuff and saturation, but maybe I can like slightly improve. This one I can delete. Maybe I can slightly modify this one. Let's see if auto levels will fix it. Or bring them somewhat closer. No. Yeah, this one here I gotta darken it slightly. Something like this. And that's a little bit closer. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too crazy about it. So this one I'm just gonna clean up, and I will I'll add that drop shadow too. That's going to be the drop shadow layer, and then first let me erase what is unneeded. Let's go back to a normal size tool. Alright. I'm going to try not to make it too complicated. Go, maybe go to size 27. Lighten up this line slightly. Hey, Nordican. Yeah, Whiskey, you know, that's something I was thinking too. I'm just gonna go with the way it is, I think. Because originally, the reason why, so if you guys are wondering, like, why do I have two sets of arms and stuff here, like why do I need that? And the original thinking was that, you know, if I were going to animate this just with my camera and, you know, go straight ahead and move his arm and take a picture, move it again, take a picture, you would get a different shadow, and you'd get a different highlight on the arms, right? So with Moho, you don't get that, and you know, I'm just afraid that if I don't have a different pose like this, then after a certain point it's going to look really obvious that it's, you know, a cutout photo of something in 3D and not an actual, you know, 3D animation. So really what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get that highlight and everything to show up properly on here. And it might be making it too complicated, but anyways, let's see. So I wanted to... maybe wanting to smear this down a bit. How do I do that again? Let's see here. So... smudge. I'm going to attempt to fix this under his arm. Like this. Alright. This actually should be pretty good. Clean that up just a bit. So normally I would do that with a sculpting tool, you know? It's really weird doing it in Photoshop. And then from here, I'm going to add the drop shadow again. So I'll add it slightly too dark, you know, and then I'm going to change the opacity like I did before. Kind of get it to be where it looks like it's naturally there and not really obvious. And then let me just make sure that it looks kind of similar to this one. Oops. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Hold on. I'm sure that's good. Alright, so I'm going to merge this down. Alright. So that one, wait, so yeah, this is just gonna bug me because there's that difference in the way the contrast looks. So let's do this. Image adjustments, brightness, contrast. It's more like this. And then the brightness is just like slightly less. So bring the brightness. Is it brightness or what? Which one? It's almost like a different color temperature is what it looks like. So this one, I'm going to adjust color balance, and then I'm going to add a little bit more red to it. It's getting a little bit better. And this one, I think I'm going to get rid of some red. So we can kind of meet these two images halfway. And yeah, this one definitely needs more red. I don't know. It's gonna bug me. It's gonna be a problem to a small degree, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna get too crazy about it. Alright, so what else can we do with this character? Let's make sure that we're not missing anything before we save it. So I've got the hair, and we've got that's for the side view. These have drop shadows, which is good. We discussed the eyebrows, which we don't want to have drop shadows. We got drop shadows for that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I'll get rid of this. That one. So we got drop shadows, which is good. Got the drop shadow for that. We've got the drop shadow for that. And now this one here, the pants. Let's kind of look at this for a minute. So I do think I want to clean up this just a little bit as well, because of that green spill on this one. So that would be, I think, the last thing to do for this one. And then we can call it a day. Go back to my eraser tool. Yeah, you know, that's a good idea, Weebies. That's a good idea. Um, I'm gonna try to keep this simple though. I don't want to go too crazy with, because I do have kind of this tendency to be a perfectionist, you know, with my work, and I could definitely do that, but I'm gonna skip it. Now, if it was the main character, that's a different story, but this is just a secondary one, so I am just going to, you know, grin and bear it. This here, I could clean up just a tad bit more here. Make sure that, because we don't want to have like a lightsaber on the side of his body here. You know, it's kind of glowing almost. This green spill. So I'm gonna just kind of go a little bit more on here like this. Clean that up. Just hide it a little bit, and there's some jaggies here, which I'm gonna maybe go over too. That's probably pretty good. Let's give him his hair back. And let's see, let's name this right brow. Brow right, actually. And brow left. Alright, that's going to be helpful. The rest of this stuff is pretty much self-explanatory. We know we got the bodies and the feet, or the legs and everything. So yeah, alright. So that does conclude our show already. It has been an hour already, and I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, we got this done in 1 hour, one character in an hour. Technically a little bit longer because we did have to do some work to separate out all the parts before we made him. So this probably took about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, you guys think, total time to do in Photoshop. And, you know, when we bring this into Moho, hopefully all this stuff, I will try to, I guess, rig it so that everything is properly attached to one another. It should be a lot of fun to try and animate this and see how it looks. Yeah, so if you guys have any comments or anything, of course, after the show, feel free to leave it. And yeah, I will talk to you guys all next week. Thanks for stopping by.